special series, Winning at All Costs, and we're focusing on some of the risks and dangers facing today's young athletes.
And Jenna Bush Hager is here with more on that. Jenna, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, sudden cardiac arrest can happen because of an underlying heart condition or from blunt trauma to the chest. Now a group of parents are trying to save kids' lives and the memories of the children they lost.
Jenny Snyder was just days away from her senior year of high school, young, invincible, and full of life.
She was so looking forward to everything. She was so happy. It was like she was coming into her own.
She played soccer since she was 5 years old.
She said, "I love you. I'm gonna go out and get dressed for soccer." And then she left. And maybe half hour later, the phone rang, and it was one of her teammates, and they said, "Jenny fainted on the field." Click. And I'm thinking, okay, Jenny fainted on the field. You know, I don't know, dehydration. Did she have a concussion? Did she have a brain bleed? I had no idea what was going on.
But it wasn't a lack of water in her body or a hit to her head. It was her heart. It had just stopped beating on the soccer field. Sudden cardiac arrest.
The doctors kept coming in, and about 9:10 he came in and he said, "I'm really, really sorry." And my world changed forever.
Jenny had passed her physical just weeks before, but it was only after she died that Michelle learned her daughter had an undetected heart defect since birth.
When you talked with the doctors in the hospital, did they say that she could have been saved?
They said the only chance that she would have had to survive is you need the shock from the defibrillator, and you need it quickly. So could she have survived? Yeah.
Was there a defibrillator anywhere in the area?
No, there was nothing. There was nothing.
He collapsed on the basketball court from a sudden cardiac arrest.
He passed away to sudden cardiac arrest while swimming.
Takes the blow to the chest, got up, collapsed.
Like Michelle Snyder, every one of these parents has also lost a child to sudden cardiac arrest. They are all part of the group Parent Heart Watch.
A sudden cardiac arrest can happen to anyone's child, and it's everyone's cause.
Unlike a heart attack where blood flow to the heart is blocked, a heart and cardiac arrest literally stops beating, cutting off blood to the brain and the rest of the body. But there is a chance of survival.
Sudden cardiac arrest really is a survivable event if we can recognize it promptly, get the defibrillator, and use it as soon as we can.
Dr. Jonathan Dresner, a University of Washington sports cardiologist, says the chance of survival jumps to over 80% if a defibrillator, also called an AED, shocks the heart in the first few minutes.
Raise your hand if you think a proper use of an AED could have helped save your child's life.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That was, to me, the first time I even thought that a kid's not going to have a heartbeat.
12-year-old Josh Thibodeau did not get a life-saving shock to his heart immediately after collapsing during soccer.
There was an AED within feet of where he collapsed, locked in a snack shack.
Turns out Josh, like Jenny Snyder, had an undetected heart defect. The Thibodeaus screened all of their other children after Josh's death and caught a different lethal heart condition in their son Adam.
Only because Josh passed away, it wouldn't have happened. Adam has that chance, and Adam's playing soccer now and you know, doing great.
But his mom, Deb, is always feet away with an AED. Now these parents are fighting to ensure the places where children spend the most time, schools, are equipped with an AED, always available and accessible. Our research shows only 16 states require an AED in public schools. But even so, we found some of those states don't specifically say they have to be on every playing field or require someone trained to use them.
Those of you that are from Massachusetts, if I walked into a public school, would I see a defibrillator in every school?
Not necessarily. We hope you would, and it is our goal to make sure that you will.
More than 300 schools in Massachusetts do not have an AED. They've been working with state lawmakers to push for what they call common sense legislation, a bill putting an AED in every school.
I am here because my son's not.
The bill has been stalled because of lack of funding.
The state doesn't like to tell schools that they have to have things and not fund it, but then they don't have funding to provide. So it's a little bit of a catch-22, I think.
How hard have you had to fight?
Years and years.
I've had makes us even madder because AEDs are $800 to $1,000.
Back in Chicago, Michelle Snyder returned for the first time to the place where Jenny's heart stopped.
It's where she was, and that makes me feel closer to her.
With Michelle's help, the field now has an AED.
I can feel peaceful knowing that another child isn't going to die because there wasn't an AED around.
So what about preventing cardiac arrest in the first place? All the parents we spoke with said their children had passed their physicals, but were not screened for heart conditions, which is typically not part of a sports exam in kids. Okay, so obviously they need to raise awareness about screenings in EKGs as well. These AEDs cost $800 to $1,000.
Wow.
So these parents say, yeah, you know, that's expensive, but if every kid brought in their lunch money or did a bake sale, they could have them on fields and in lunchrooms across the country.
A lot of parents going to be calling their schools after seeing that report.
Exactly.
And you want to have them close by, too, because it's just those critical minutes.
Yeah, exactly. A few minutes afterwards, so they really need to be on fields.
That's great, Jenna. Thank you.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.